Well, hello there. I'm one proud Bavarian. You are you. And today we have Elder Kings 2 on the stream docket. My favorite mod in CK3. I don't think that's a secret. There's many amazing mods, but this one has a very special place in my heart. And I'm incredibly happy that today I'm here with the mod in my possession. Just to clarify, it's not out yet. Just to clarify, it's not out yet. And there is no release date, because these sort of things take time. But we're going to take a really good look at it. I'm going to play as Whiterun. I think we're going to have a great time. We're going to look around a bit. We're going to talk a bit about the mod, where it is, you know, what the design ideas are. If you have any particular stuff that you want to talk about, or that you want to have talked about, you know, maybe something you want to see, something that you want to have shown off. And I'm going to turn the timer off here, yeah? It's not another 5 minutes, okay? Don't worry. But if you have any of that, feel free to ping me. So if you type one proper variant, it will be highlighted on my end. I think you can also ping Theyn, who's a moderator in the chat. And then you can go and basically, you know, see whether we can't show that off. There's some stuff, and I want to highlight that right now, that I can't show off. One of those things is a bunch of stuff in Morrowind. And you know, I love Morrowind. You know, I have a difficult time not showing it off. But I would like to invite you to join the next stream of Elder Kings 2 on the Elder Kings team's channel. And I hope that the link for that stream, so that you can follow it, so that you can, you know when it starts and whatnot, that will be in the chat in a second. Now for the moment, I'm going to switch over. I'm going to say hello to my... Oh, one of them just left. Hello there. How's it going, dear Singe?
Hey.
There's Theyn. How are you two? So, you two are here today with me. You are devs of the mod.
Indeed, we are.
We are, yes.
Now, how come that I can't show off Morrowind? What is there that can't be shown today?
Well, we have some very exciting stuff below that paper map of yours that you're showing, and that is that Vardenfell has received its terrain. So it is fully modeled now, but that will be shown off with a little bit more detail this Friday.
This Friday, do you have a link? I sadly don't actually have the link. If you could post the link in the chat.
I do indeed, yeah. So we'll have another little stream over on my channel on Friday, which will be a little showcase to celebrate the 1 year of development, and then some gameplay in Falkreath. And another highlight will be to show off Vardenfell, yeah.
All right, folks, make sure to check in there, because I'm not gonna spoil anything. But I gotta tell you, if you're missing out on checking out what Vardenfell looks like in the mod, then you're really missing out. Yeah, that is that was a moment to see something there. Now, what I would like to bring up early on, I actually saw the flavor renames, right? In the gameplay rules, you can change whether you want the innovations renamed. Do you recommend right now extensive rename, necessary rename? Does it even do anything right now?
It's not for innovations, it's for perks. Perks.
Okay. Let's do an extensive.
It gives you, so you have 3 settings. You can keep the vanilla names. You can only change vanilla names which don't make sense. For example, the Partian tactics in the strategist pack tree. Since you don't have Partia in Elder Kings, it doesn't make sense. So it's renamed into Bullseye tactics. And the third settings change some other names to put like lore books, stuff like in the mod. So it's up to you what you want to do.
All right, okay. So that is definitely a flavor choice that we can make there. Now today I'm here not just with Theyn and Singe, but also with my best friend WHITERUN, if that is how you pronounce it. Probably not. Honestly, I only know it from reading, and in Elder Scrolls Online, I never actually listened to his name. I'll just admit it. Okay, I read the dialogue and then I skip it. But if you played Morrowind, you will know him. It's a legendary Telvanni mage who does whatever he wants, because he basically, you know, hey, that's just how strong and cool he is. And he's here. Now, we're very far away from him, but I will pull my friend up whenever I do something great. We are in Whiterun today. And while there's a lot to talk about in the mod, I mean, honestly, you know, let me just... I love doing this in this mod in particular. Let me just whip out the controller manual. If this isn't Whiterun, then I don't know what is. I actually love looking at this map in particular because you can really see, you come down here from Helgen in Skyrim, Anniversary Edition, and any other edition really. And then you go to Riverwood, and I straight up remember right over here. That's where the where Bandit Fort is in Skyrim. And the way Skyrim is modeled here, it gets me every time because it is just that good. You can actually look at it and say, yep, that is exactly where that is. I really, honestly, I have to just applaud the work that you folks have done on the map. It's so impressive to look around and say, yep, I know exactly where that is and what that is.
Yeah, our terrain artist does some amazing job. Like, if you go over to Riverwood and then to Bleak Falls Barrow, you can see like a little path going up from Riverwood up to the ruins, which is modeled after the path that's there in Skyrim 2. So there's so much detail there. It's insane.
Speaking of detail, what about if we go over to Solitude real quick? I don't think I've had that in previous footage of mine. Look at this beauty. Oh my god. I swear there was another. Which model am I thinking of? There was another model that wasn't present in previous. I know which one I'm thinking of. I hope I can show that. Listen, please intervene immediately if I can't show this. But I looked up to Winterhold earlier today, and I was like,
oh yes,
baby, look at this. It's the academy. It's the college. Look at that. Oh my god, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? That is so beautiful. That is actually so good. Interestingly enough, right now as well, and it might be a bit louder than the vanilla music, so I'm gonna tone it down. But there's a score as well, right? Like you got some music for this mod. How come? And like how extensive is it?
Yeah. So at the moment we have 1 hour and 14 minutes, I think, of music, which is actually longer than the Crusader Kings 3 track itself.
All right.
You can actually give me a second. I can look it up because you can listen to it right now on YouTube.
Make sure to post the link.
I'm doing that in a second. The fabulous Sylvester Faustman gave us the permission to use his entire soundtrack, and actually, we now also have a composer working with us, and so there will be some custom music as well. So. One specifically made for Elder Kings 2.
I have a question for chat real quick. So I want to marry, obviously. I can marry the daughter of the High King, or the wannabe High Queen actually, Freydis of Eastern Skyrim. I could marry the daughter of the Rift, or marry the daughter of the Reach. Yeah, she is a... let me look at your face, please, okay? I straight up can't tell. Look at her. Which one do I marry? Reach, Rift, or Eastern Skyrim? You know what? Why am I asking this question randomly? I'm gonna do a poll. Who do we marry, real quick? Because I would like to take a look some other stuff as well. But of course, we need to do some gameplay mechanics as well. Actually, play the game. The Rift.
I don't know if you've seen it previously, but you can see that Norse character have face paints now.
She's a West Marcher, yeah. Look at her.
Yeah, the princess here is in war equipment, and as such she can wear face paints. And all Norse can do that.
That's really good. I like that. It looks nice as well. It looks like slightly worn. It doesn't look like somebody applied it in a studio and then she just went outside with it.
Yeah. There's actually various variations of this, and I think it's still tied to prowess. So characters that have a higher prowess are more likely to have it because it's war paint. So mostly warriors have it.
It is really cool. I saw a question earlier. Is there the question was, is there a Stormcloak character? So the Stormcloak dynasty, are they present in Elder Kings 2?
I don't remember placing her, but I guess you could just go into the character search and search her up.
Oh yeah,
I don't remember if she's around already. Because in Elder Kings 1 there was a Stormcloak. I think she was a count. No, a baron.
Baron. I mean, so she's not there right now at the very least. I will admit, I've never done the Stormcloak route in Skyrim. I've only done the Imperials, so I don't have any hard feelings for that either way, but, you know, hey, maybe she'll show up at a later date. It is all, and I want to highlight that as well, it is all work in progress. Whatever you see here is insane progress, but it's work in progress. So, at the end of the day, you know, if there's any suggestion, you could, for example, I believe it's linked in the description, join the Discord of Elder Kings as well, and give some feedback, say, there should be a dynasty named, you know, cold catcher, you know, they could just get sick all the time. That, for example, probably won't make it in, but you can make that suggestion, so feel free to join the Discord right there. What is the poll? Let me just check real quick. It's actually super close. Eastern Skyrim and the Reach are super tight. I'll give it one more minute, but what I'm interested in asking directly, actually, is, and we saw that in different videos as well, is the Patron system. First of all, beautiful symbols. Can I just, you know, the others, so the stream won't have seen it yet, since we haven't really looked at any other religions, but look at these symbols. How beautiful is that? Unbelievable to me. What sort of talent you actually have in the team. They just go and are like, yeah, let's just make exactly the stuff that fits the lore and fits the, you know, the visuals in CK3 as a whole. Who do we pledge to? Singe, can you give me some advice here?
So since you play as WHITERUN, you should probably try maybe a God of War.
God of War, you know what?
You
actually just gave me an idea though. We had a...
Since you probably marry either Eastern Skyrim, which might want to fight Western Skyrim, or the Reach, whose king might want to conquer the Witchfolk around the map, you could try to be a good ally.
I think... What do you think about Kinnereth? Don't we have... And please correct me if I'm wrong here, but if I remember from Skyrim, right, we have like a tree that is dedicated to Kinnereth in Windhelm, in Whiterun? Isn't that true?
Yeah, there's actually a temple holding here too, if you zoom in.
Town of Whiterun, Lordship. Oh yeah, Gildergreen. There it is. You know what? I pray to the tree, to Lady Kinnereth. What do I get? I get Intrigue +1, Piety 0.1 per month, and Movement Speed +5%. Oh, you just gave me the most powerful weapon in my toolset. You fool. So what that does is, right, it gives me a trait right here, Follower of Kine. Patron trait, Turek is a follower, of course. Look at that. Okay, so now I can check around. So this is similar, except it works with its own interface, but it's similar to how we, you know, for example, look at it when it comes to the Northern Lords patrons that you can pick. You get something, you get an effect. Are there like any stuff, is there anything planned in relation to, for example, events or something? You know, hey, my guard supported me here in particular, or is that more really just to identify you as a character in the world?
Yeah, so eventually... Oh, sorry, you can go ahead.
No, go on, sorry.
Alright, well, so as you can see, dear viewers, there's a great rift between the modders and Elder Kings 2. No, feel free. And can I just... Okay, wait a minute. Before we jump into that, can I just say 36%, 33%, 30%. It is actually insanely split. Like, this is... It couldn't be more split. I think what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna marry Eastern Skyrim, and I'm gonna marry the Reach to my heir. Oh, my heir is gone. Hey, heir, come here. The Reach, yes. All right, okay. So we got two alliances, but the Rift, I don't like. All right, feel free to talk about the patron system if you want to.
Yeah. So eventually we want some more things attached to it, but at the moment, at least for the moment, it's just the trait you get.
Oh, you're working with further equilibriums. Am I... was not mentioned.
Yeah,
are you working with
that's
them?
mine. Yeah, so you already mentioned it in one of your videos, I think. The problem in Vanilla is that every faith tends to get 100% fervor, which makes fervor a bit useless.
It's useless,
the exception being Catholicism, because it's so big in Vanilla. So now the idea is that faith should almost never be at 100% fervor. They should trend around about 50, a bit more, a bit less. Yeah, but that's the idea that if you want a big faith, you will tend to have a much lower fervor, and your fervor will drift toward. I don't know. It's for the north. It's currently 32% at the econo stream. So yeah. So over time, the north fervor would go from 50 to 42, and for other faiths, for the much smaller faiths, it might go to like about 60. So yeah, the idea is that you don't always have 100%, and as such, you're not always safe from heresy outbreaks.
So basically, it's a method to make it so that the faiths aren't either like always in the dumps if you're too big, and they aren't always completely up there for literally everybody else. It was brought up, so Singe said this, and I want to really verify this. I feel strongly about this because if you played CK3 when it was released, you were basically looking at something where everybody constantly had heresies. Everybody died on the map, basically. Every faith was decimated in mere decades. And now it's currently so that everybody ends up at 100% unless you're Ashari or Catholic. And it sucks because it makes it so that they're all the same. Conversion really doesn't play a role there anymore because usually it impacts how you can convert and whatnot. So they're working with an equilibrium system where it always trends towards something. And I think that's a pretty good idea. These are, by the way, the de jure kingdoms, let's just say, work in progress. I have to assume everything essentially is. But I think you can, when we look at the holes in Skyrim, for example, look at that. Absolutely. Oh yeah, something that people don't really notice too much. There's a dragon on the throat of the world. I wonder who that is. I believe he's related to Super Mario, right? He's like... I thought that's a good joke, okay?
I will take the voice actor to Bavaria and hit you in the face.
All right, let's take a quick look, and I actually do want to start playing, but let's take a look at the religions. Now, I do want to stress, okay, faiths and such in Elder Kings 1 obviously was a big factor, right? It was one of those things that could define how you would look at the world, how you would play with it and whatnot. I remember, again, my adamantine playthrough with the Durrani dynasty here on the channel, like 1 million episodes, because that's how that business went back in the day, was hugely fun because it was so different from the faiths that surrounded me. But honestly, like, when I look at this list, Elder Kings 1 is like, what amateurs made Elder Kings 1? This is complete insanity, folks.
Just to be fair, in the very early versions of Elder Kings 1, we also had a lot of faith. However, CK2 could not really represent such a vast amount of faith, so most had to be axed. But luckily, in CK3 we can represent faith with a lot more of granularity. So hopefully we'll be able to keep a very wide array of faith. Also, I just want to point out, if you check the Breton Rites and the Redguard Creed, their Patron tab, you will see that they're a bit different compared to the Cyrodiilic cult.
Right, let me check. Redguard Creed and then the Breton Rites. Oh, yeah, look at that. So they oh, wait a minute. Oh, this is Raymond Mysteries. Get out of here. Breton Rites. So what we have here is, I see a big difference in, even in the virtues and the sins, and then like the Council of the 8 member. Where's the, wait a minute, I think I know what you mean. Here we go. Council of the 8 leader. So for anybody that knows the lore, obviously, what we see right here is we have the Imperial cult, we have the Nordic Pantheon, we have the Breton Rite, and they all, basically they all say, yep, obviously there's the 8 divines. There's, before anybody goes off, okay? Let me just say, Talos
they all worship the divines, just to be sure.
We're not making political statements about the Stormcloak Rebellion, okay? We are saying that at this time, Talos did not yet exist. And basically, they all follow the 8 divines, so, the classic gods, of course. And they have a council mechanic here. Now, I know that there's more to it, but honestly, like, just looking at this, what I see here, what jumps out to me is, doctrine changes made by the leader will trickle down on this faith. That's a crazy statement compared to vanilla, where, so, basically, doctrines, of course, these are these things right here, marriage doctrines, crime doctrines, clergy doctrines, Daedric doctrines, who's accepted and who's not accepted, who's criminal and who's shunned and so on. But in vanilla, if you want to change that, it creates a hostile heresy every time. There's currently no other mechanic. Maybe, fingers crossed, at some point. Where are you coming from here? How does it work, or how is it going to work, and what made you want to implement it?
Okay, so as you said, we have several faiths which all worship the divine, which are all covered under the Aegean religion in Elder Kings 1. So the idea is that these faiths are very close, while they still keep their regional flavor. For example, and as such, what we want to do is that this faith can hold the council, hold the meeting, and they will try to push for some reforms. For example, the leader of the Council of the Eight, currently the Imperial Cult, can decide to legalize Daedric worship.
Good idea.
As they are the leader, they have the authority to push for that change even in the other members, which might create conflict between these faiths. So the point is that this faith will tend to either get closer and closer as time passes. For example, the leader of the Council of the Eight might ask the other faith to align themselves on, I don't know, maybe the religious leader, as the Nordic pantheon does not have a religious head. So the Council of the Eight might ask the Nordic cult to institute a proper religious head, and as such, everyone will be a bit closer to the leader. Or to go in the opposite direction, with the leader asking something too difficult for a faith, which might push them outside of the Council of the Eight. The Breton rites syncretize with the Altmer pantheon,
right?
Which the leader of the Eight might want to remove. They might want to remove the Elven influence from in the Breton faith.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the idea that faith, especially in the Council of the Eight, are not static. They might want to change over time, and how they change might either push them further apart, eventually breaking the Council of the Eight, or see them get closer and closer every day, and at one point even see each other as righteous or something.
Right, so basically you added a mechanic for faiths that are very far apart, you know, on Tamriel with how large it is, this entire continent. But if you were a realm that actually has influence, or rather, you know, if you have the influence between these different pantheon variations, you can then take influence on it. Is that something that is guided primarily by, because there is, of course, the Archprimate Galinius, he's right here, he's the leader of the Imperial Cult. Is that something that mostly happens in the background, or does the player have a direct option to say, I want to influence this?
So, for that, we have to see Vanilla. In Vanilla, I have two examples. We know that a secular ruler, so a player, can force the Christiani, or something like that, the Bosnian Christian, out of the Ecumenical Council. So that pushes me toward making it so it's driven by players or at least secular rulers. And we also have the Magyar faith, which is changed when there's a decision for an Hungarian ruler, and that too depends on a strong ruler, a strong secular ruler. So what I want to do is that the player, or at least a ruler that you can play, can influence what happens, but a player should not have total control over what happens. So it's a bit of both. But it's tricky.
They're of their own mind, but you can influence it to a degree, right?
Yeah.
Oh, we caught him. It's not even me leading. Who the hell? Wait, who is this guy? Wait a minute. Theyn, Edwinda of Stepwatch. Oh my God! Look at that face, man. Yeah, she's a real warrior. I went to war and I already heard there's some custom war music, huh? My God, this is gonna be a very different experience from Manila. Yeah, she's defeating Alfild here. Ooh, we captured some guy. Very nice. So I'm gonna take Valtheim, because Valtheim is a source of nasty bandits in Skyrim, and I do believe they should be under my protection. Wait, I'm being raided. Excuse you. The Reach Folk, a Minotaur cult Reach Folk. Are you kidding me? This guy comes here and thinks he gets to raid me? Man, I love... as somebody actually pointed out earlier, to go further, a bit away, still stay in religion, but go away from the earlier topic of how the pantheons can influence one another. Somebody said, I can't wait to liberate and unify the Reach. And I didn't respond, obviously, at the time, but I read that and I was like, look at this. Look at all these religions here. This is the wildest the Reach has ever been. There's hag raven cults. This is insane. I love it. I really love that. That is crazy.
For a while, the Reach was the most diverse region faith-wise. Now I think it's Black Marsh, but the Reach is still a mess. It has a lot of dead recurrence of the old gods, which you might remember from Elder Kings 1 or just Skyrim.
Yeah. The old gods is the classic stuff. I think in Elder Kings 1, right, old gods was the main religion and hag raven cult was a heresy.
Yep, exactly. And now you also have the Minotaur cult, and also the Gomer Idolâtre.
Yo, okay, listen. I need to. So these are all the Reach faiths here. Old gods, hag raven cult, Druadach cult, probably not how to pronounce it. Minotaur cult and Dwemer idolatry. Can I just I don't need you to comment on it, okay? In case it's something that you don't want to comment on. But like, I saw this as well, and I was like, that's kind of neat. This is a pretty neat religion, I would say. Becoming the tonal architect sounds like something that I would like to do. There's a lot of variety in here. And speaking of variety, I do want to highlight that what you chose here, the starting position. I know that you're going to play on Friday. We're going to play Falkreath, and it's not just Falkreath at how you know it in Skyrim. This is under control of the orcs. How much? Because I know that you do really intense research into Tamriel, because based on Elder Scrolls Online, which of course has so much lore for every section of Tamriel, one thing I love here so much, if you haven't played Elder Scrolls Online, you will not know what this is, but the spell scar, in the, what I believe was like the first DLC, or one of the first DLC anyway, for Elder Scrolls Online, it's all present here, combined with the Celestial Worshippers. Might say something for you if you know Elder Scrolls Online, but if not, I was blown away by that. Now, how much of this... because obviously we don't have lore for every single part of Tamriel, right? How much of that is improvised, and how much, so improvised in a way where you make an interesting situation, and how much of it is just straight up 100% relies on the source material?
So one of our devs likes to say that we sprinkle in some lore characters, so all the made-up ones aren't as obvious. Because filling an entire continent scale Tamriel with rulers actually is really hard. But of course we try to bring in as many of the lore rulers we can do. Actually, if you, for example, take a look at Ellen here, that one is a lore ruler. Or the guy in Falkreath, the orc Yajnak, is also from Elder Scrolls Online, or was mentioned there. But like Toric, who you are playing at the moment, is straight up from Elder Kings 1, so he's made up.
Alright, okay. Damn.
But of course, things like the divide of Western Skyrim and Eastern Skyrim, and the people ruling those are also lore characters.
I'm seeing a request to show Argonian babies. Can I show Argonian babies?
If you're lucky and find some, I guess, yeah.
I immediately found one. Look at this Argonian baby. I wish I could... You can't make these sit down, right? That's only the starting screen. Oh, that... actually is there. Okay, wait. Oh, I clicked on some Kothringi. Oh, here we... Look, oh, he's 11 already, I guess. But look at this guy. Oh, man. Honestly, I really love the Argonians. They come out so well. This might as well be an Argonian. And let's put Divide Fear next to him. Why not, right? It could be straight up an Argonian from Elder Scrolls Online, honestly. This is this more the style of Elder Scrolls Online, or is it more Skyrim? Where do you take the Argonians from?
I think Argonians are more inspired from Skyrim, yes.
Oh,
but we plan to have some more stuff for them. Like in Oblivion, a lot of them had feathers.
Right.
That's something that Elder Scrolls Online also picked up again. And so we plan to have those too.
Oh, look at that. We got the Witcher King's official channel and CK3 Game of Thrones in here. Everybody's coming out to look at Argonian babies, right?
To be fair, they are very cute. And I think it's the first I don't think Argonian babies are shown in the test game.
Mhm.
So we are kind of the first to have them, which is kind of an achievement.
Yeah, it's I mean the entire 3D work, I think, and I mean if you've watched ModCon, if you followed the mod at all, just look at the model for the Imperial City. There's been an incredible, and I think somebody that or rather something that we couldn't really see coming. King, okay, I'm destroying Falkranth. He's raiding me. Who do you think you are? What is this? Oh, look. Oh, okay, wait a minute. I think I knew this, but I just want to... Am I posed? Yeah, okay. Would you look at this? What the hell? Would you look at this guy? How many 3D models do you have? Does it ever end? Can we ever go and be like, let's not just look at things? I'm actually amazed. Look at this dude. So what really surprised me here, because it was of course a topic, and I mean it's a topic for every big mod, and it really is a topic. I don't want to make or minimize it, make it less than it is. But obviously in Crusader Kings 2, you didn't have to go and design 3D objects, right? How is that going? I know that the entire modding community, obviously, because it's such a specific thing to do, has issues, finding enough 3D modelers, because we basically need infinite of them. But how's it going in CK3, for Elder Kings 2? Because it seems to be going pretty well from what I'm seeing here.
Yeah, so we still have very few 3D modelers actually, but those that we have are very dedicated.
Right.
And as you can see, so most of the models are at the moment that are in Skyrim or and in Cyrodiil. So we basically add the models in areas where terrain is already done, so they can actually be placed properly.
Yeah.
And then we also have some troop graphics. I think at the moment it's just orcs and bone mold for Dunmer.
Which I can't look at, so we will not see that, but you may see it in tomorrow's stream. And let me defeat the enemy army, I think then we may have it. And you know what? Am I decent? Oh no. Oh my, I have a 10. You know what? Screw it. I'm going in. I'm doing this. Wait, who does she? Okay. I would lose the battle if I did it. God, I'm bad at honestly being a commander. King Torek the Honest. Yeah, he's an amazing diplomat, but that's where it ends. You know what? Speaking of diplomats, it actually... What are they doing here? The Rift is hanging out. Eastern Skyrim is hanging out. The Reach is also hanging out. Oh, this is actually a triple alliance. I'm allied to the Reach and Eastern Skyrim, and they're allied to me and each other. So yeah, we're all friends here. Why don't we romance High Queen Freydis? I will sing her a love ballad, absolutely. So, do we have anything in particular? Before I move on to a topic that I had on mind, do we have anything in particular in chat that you want to know? Please ping me so that I can see it directly as I win the struggle against Waldheim. This is Blue Wool, and he is actually a bastard founder. Hythain Zigar. Is there lore behind it? He actually has parent and grandparent. King of Rift.
Not lore behind it, but yeah, we try to tell some little stories wherever we add things. So he is of an ancient Rift dynasty, which is somewhat fallen from grace, and so they have been spread all over Skyrim. And this particular bastard tried to make a name for himself and conquered Waldheim. The previous owners are also still around. They are his vassals now. I think in Grey Winter.
Oh yeah.
Or in White Watch.
Oh,
one of
Grey
those.
Winter?
Yeah.
Oh no. Maybe he already revoked it. Oh, let me just check real quick just to make sure. No, he inherited it, so it must have just been there. Was it Theyn Oddfrida of Felglow from House Bloodsong? Man, I love as well what you've done with the Coat of Arms generation. Yeah. Most of these are randomized, right? So
obviously they're all randomized at the moment.
Oh, okay, okay, wow. Yeah, they're nice. They're really nice.
The one with the Nordic patterns, those are all oh
yeah, there she is. Theyn Oddfrida of Felglow. I might give that back to her. The war's over. I win, you lose. You're nitpicking and biased. Bye-bye. And that makes us beautiful and large. Look at Whiterun. The throat of the world is now colored in our paint. Now let me just look at this here. We got a lot of pinks. Shows the Cult of Meridia. I can show the Cult of Meridia. Let me see. Shouldn't the Cult of Meridia? Yeah, there it is. You just gotta look at Valenwood. You know it's gonna be there. Cult of Meridia. Oh, they don't like vampires. Doesn't surprise anybody. They like Meridia, of course. This is also an interesting topic, but maybe we're gonna get to that later. But we already talked about it as well in different. Oh. I didn't know that there was a pantheon level of Daedric worship. Is that something that you can unlock by changing the doctrine, or is that something that is done via the main doctrines? You know, just on that level.
You mean to have a Daedra in your pantheon? So you can either accept one and focus on them, which will allow you to get very powerful boons. Or you might decide to accept several. So, as in the Old Gods Faith, you can decide to just worship Daedra in general, and as such, you can choose freely who you worship.
Yeah.
And if you like worship the divines, and you want to add a Daedra to your pantheon, you need a reason. You can't just add a sin because you want to worship him. You need to, for example, consider have the tenet Sacred Hands, which Ersin likes. It is the father of the hunt. And so if you have that tenet, you might decide to add Ersin to your pantheon.
Right.
But it also has to be done when you create the faith.
Let me check here. I got a... Is this... I remember that faith name, I swear. I probably just can't find it right now if you... if the person that asked this wants to the Nidic sect and Ixtar. Oh, right, okay, so this is the Nidic sect, and then let's real quick take a look at this. I believe this is the one. Oh, I love it. Human sacrifice. Oh, man, it's gonna be so nice. You know what? I always lamented, and it wasn't possible any other way. This is not me ribbing on Elder Kings 1, right? Or ribbing Elder Kings 1. But what I always lamented is that you quickly go into the habit where you just conquer Tamriel. That's it. You conquer, you know, High Rock, and then you're like, that's good. And like, you can do that in one evening. But when I look at this, when you know, I'm not gonna zoom in, obviously, because it's still work in progress. But look at the density of Black Marsh. Taking Black Marsh alone can take you ages. This will... I'm very impressed by how different the gameplay experience will be, just because we now have this potential. Let me just real quick check. Show a lusty Argonian maid. Okay, sure. I don't know whether they're gonna be lusty, but I can show. Okay, he's an Argonian maid. She is not lusty. My bad. Chiefess Jeshu. Jeshu. Look at her next to the Vaithfir. Isn't that nice? Man, I love the variety as well. If you haven't seen this, folks, there's a GIF of an Argonian being like fast-tracked to aging, so that they get their horns and whatnot. And the way that is done in this mod is insane. Let me check. What is the blah blah? I don't. Oh my god, the chat. Don't do this to me. How will the mod handle minority ethnicities in your code? Will you as a Nord ruling a Nord county only get Nordic courtiers? They're just to bring you into the direction, because obviously this is a question for you. There is already a system, right, when it comes to culture and maintaining cultural, diversity in the world, as it is, of course, also in the lore. But how do you approach the topic in general?
That's something that I think is difficult to handle, as it can be very quickly, very performance heavy. So there isn't... apart from our system where cultures are tied to a region, which makes it so even after like a millennia of gameplay, you should still have some sense in the world. So you won't have Breton rulers controlling all of Tamriel. You will still keep some Cyrodiilics, some Nords, some Dunmer, and so on. Apart from that, we haven't changed a lot about culture. So if you're a Nord, you will mostly get Nordic cultures and guilds.
Right. Do I become a moth cultist? Just a quick question. I'm gonna say no to this. Let's see what other...
Of course. Of course you
That
do.
actually happens all the time. Like all through my test games in Skyrim, every time it's Viveka that goes Call of Ancestor Moth, because she's borrowing those countries in northern Cyrodiil.
I love that. It's like that is a niche faith. Now I have a very important question for you. As you know, the Royal Code is currently in the works, and how will that impact Elder Kings 2's cultures?
We have absolutely no bloody idea. We will see when it's released. So hopefully soon, because it's the cultural work looks very interesting. But we don't know yet how it will impact the Elder King's 2 cultures.
Somebody asked for a religious map mode. There it is. There's a lot going on with religions. Like, this map mode doesn't do it any justice. You have a lot of small stuff sprinkled in that would have to be overlooked, you know, in the old games. I mean, the reach is incredibly diverse at this point. But we got also stuff like the Herd Mother faith, a very niche Yokuden faith. And all that sort of stuff. There is so much more variety. And then we talked about it earlier as well with the different pantheons of the 8 divines influencing one another. It is honestly something that I am willing, obviously very much willing to show you right now and to look at this. I think you also already, the Brethren faith, of course, which is the Brethren of Hector, if you played Oblivion. All that stuff is in, but like, I gotta tell you, you will have to legit, whenever this mod comes out, look at all of this by yourself, and you will need like 20 playthroughs to actually, you know, like see everybody in action and around you, because there's just so much going on here. It's absolutely wild. Now, I'm gonna do the honorable thing and take down Helgen. You know, I think was a good move by our Lord, the Destroyer of the World, the Eater of the World. Alduin, I think should have been done earlier, so I'm gonna do that right now. I would like to, just to put that out there, in the stream, if I can at least embarrass Falcranth, so that once you stream with him on Friday, you will have to play with basically a king that you know is worse than the wonderful king of Whiterun. You know, I would like to pull that off. Ooh. And the music is so good. Folks, can you hear the music? Okay, now I would like to... yeah, I would like to save her. I'm really bad at it. I will never let you get into Soul's harm. High Queen Freydis of Eastern Skyrim is my soulmate. Now she needs to be divorced of her husband, and I need to divorce my wife. And then we can look at the future between Eastern Skyrim and Whiterun, but I don't think she'd even consent to a marriage, so I'm gonna ignore that. Can you show the tenets and doctrines for the Dunmer Fates? I gotta tell you, everything Morrowind, listen, I want to show you all of that, okay? I saw some traits, I saw some really cool stuff. We're not gonna look at it, because you need to check it out on Friday. Please, Theyn, be my guest and post the link in the chat. I'm telling you right now, whatever you're seeing right now, if this impresses you and you're like, this is great, this is really well done, wait until you see Morrowind, okay? Seriously, click that in the chat right now, because you're gonna see something that is truly gorgeous. And listen, we're looking at literally Skyrim right now. Like, this is the Skyrim that we know and love in all of the re-release versions, you know? We've seen it over like 10 different consoles at this point, but it's never grown, you know, any worse, and this is the exact depiction. If you're interested in Morrowind, I gotta tell you, Friday is your time to shine. Ooh. He wants the Earldom of Helgen. Earldom in this one, right, would just be the county. I don't like... Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm gonna... You know, I'm gonna call somebody in here. I would like to stop that. No, I will not. Call in... Who's busy? Who's not busy? Are you busy? You're not busy. I'm down here. My lover? Wait, she's sick. Yeah, she's sick. Oh, no. She's also a torturer. Alright, well. I can overlook things for my soulmate, okay? Don't worry about it. Will she become gluttonous? Yeah, let's make her gluttonous. That's fine. I would like to get rid of the orcs here. And I would like to beat them up with my army. Now, with all that being said, what is going on? They're still at war here. Let's take a look, right? So this is the... Oh, and the actual... He died. He was a leper. Oh, alright, yeah, that's a... that's an ugly Akaviri. So we're basically inserted. We're looking at a special situation, right? What is this starting situation with General Atribus and, well, technically, Potentate Aixnieras? Oh, wait, is this... Were there 2 people that died? No, okay, this is from before the game session, right? What happens here? What's the usual outcome? How can you influence it? What's it all about?
Okay, so 10 years before the start of the game, the second Akaviri Potentate was murdered. And after that, Cyrodiil was plunged into the interregnum for about 500-600 years.
No, okay, wait, can I interrupt you?
So, yeah, of course.
She's alive.
That's
Oh.
yeah.
Wait, what?
That's already happened. It shouldn't.
Okay. This is the
I
worst.
locked that!
The world actually ends. If this happens, the world's actually over, okay? Okay, so this is a bug, but what does... Because this will, of course, be a feature, right? Just real quick, can we dive into who she is and what that event is? This is a nightmare for the world.
That's Lama Ebal, the first vampire. So she was turned into a vampire by Moloch by himself, like in the early first era, I think. And she has since developed her own bloodline, if I remember correctly. In ESO, I think you can do a quest where she turns you into a vampire directly. That's one way to become a vampire in ESO.
Well, let's hope that she doesn't use the power that she just gained. But give me 1 minute. Wait, I saw something. Right, the question was about orc baronies, and if I understand it correctly, it may be the case in certain locations, but in other locations you will also just find the orcs where they previously, you know, may have just been baronies. You may find them in greater numbers. I mean, of course, the mountain orcs up there, the iron orcs down here. I swear, yeah, there's some wood orcs down in Valenwood. I don't know, actually. Could there be I don't even, you know, looking around, I don't know exactly where the orc baronies would be. Is that a thing, or is it primarily driven by giving the orcs counties now wherever you can?
So baronies in Crusader Kings 3 aren't as free to use as in Crusader Kings 2. So yeah, most of them are counties now.
They would just be inherited by Nords, right? If it was an orc-held barony within a Nordic province, wouldn't that just after that orc dies become a Nord ruler?
Yeah, I think so. And we also
and
there is a leasing feature that's used by like the Holy Orders.
Yeah.
But even that one we can't properly use because it's somewhat hard coded. So we had to give them counties.
So it's a compromise basically. You have playable orcs in various places, but yeah, currently as CK3 is, you can't really depict it. And I mean, at the end of the day, maybe one day, depending on how Royal Court influences the development of Elder Kings 2, but primarily, of course, this is basically the best that you can do with the tools available in CK3 right now, right? Can anyone play the mod right now? Just to clarify that, I know we are about 1 hour in, a bit less. This is currently... Wait. My king, I could not help but notice that you might ban. Excuse me, I have 35 bucks. Get out of here. Basically... Please don't. They're all summoning dragons. This is terrible. But don't worry about it. Where I'm coming from primarily right now is the topic of, let's go back to the Colovian estates, right? We have this starting situation. Obviously, there is an interregnum. So what we're looking at is there is no empire. There's no, you know, in Morrowind, in Arena, in every game, even in Skyrim, despite of course in Skyrim it being significantly weakened. You had an empire that said we have the right to rule over all of Tamriel. That's not the case here. What is going on, and what can you do with it?
So the second era is mostly defined by its lack of dragon blood emperors. There are some emperors in the second era, mostly the Longhouse dynasty, and a few puppet emperors during the Three Banners War. But the most important thing is that there is no Dragonborn ruling Tamriel. Not anymore.
Yeah.
So after the end of the Reman dynasty, which was, if I remember correctly, murdered by the first Potentate, you had the Akaviri who ruled most of Tamriel. And even them had to die. And after the second Potentate died, the empire completely broke down. And every province went its own way, and it was all utter chaos until Tiller Septim unified Tamriel completely.
It was chaos.
This time also Morrowind. Yeah, it was a bit of a mess. We can see it in ESO. We can see that every province does its own thing.
Okay, real quick before you finish.
Yep.
Which of the three sides are you on? Aldmeri Dominion, Ebonheart Pact, or Daggerfall Covenant? That's the real question.
I will die for my queen, the Eagle Primarch Irene Arada.
Pretty good choice. Pretty good choice. I would have also accepted Ebonheart Pact. Had you said Day of Will Come, I would have said, alright, buddy. Nice bad opinion. Alright, so basically, we're looking at the situation where the power vacuum is going on. What about the particular situation with the estates and the Potentate?
Okay, so after the murder of the second Potentate, Cyrodiil was basically done with having Akaviri rulers dictating what's happening in the province. And you have the most of the Nibene who decided to put puppet potentates on the Ruby throne and to then control most of Cyrodiil in the background. And as an answer for that, most of Colovia united behind the General Atrebus of the Colovian estates. And as such, Atrebus, who was raised in the Abbey of the Eight, and as such is a very devout Eight Divine follower. He decided to unite Colovia and to go ham on the Potentate.
Yeah.
So his goal is to destroy the Potentate, kick all the Akaviri out of Cyrodiil, and to finally let Cyrodiil do something, free from any Akaviri influence, and to them start the interregnum, and until a Dragonborn Emperor comes to the Imperial City and start to once again unite the continent.
Right, okay, so basically we're looking at the struggle of the Akaviri, invaders that hold the rest of what was going on there in Cyrodiil, and then the Colovian estates. If General Atrebus wins, right, so there's a couple of choices, and he's currently you know what, I think he just lost some. No, I think he's gonna win this. I think his numbers look better here. He has the choice, and the player has the choice, so there's a bit of an intricate system there. Without going too deep into it, can I go basically, play Atrebus, and make it so that the Empire rises immediately? Is that an option?
Immediately, no. As Atrebus, your first goal is to destroy the Potentate, and then you can try to navigate the power vacuum that is left behind. The Elder Council gives you emergency powers to let you stabilize Cyrodiil before the interregnum starts. But the idea is that as Atrebus, your goal is to end the Potentate, and that's it.
Right.
Now, a powerful Atrebus and a very ambitious player might decide that actually Atrebus might be the one who could lead Cyrodiil for a while. So while at first the Atrebus and the Elder Council work hand in hand, the Elder Council expects you to do their bidding.
Yeah.
So to raise taxes to repay them because the Elder Council funds your rebellion or your war. So the Elder Council wants you in the Imperial line, so you can sort you can clear the mess that Cyrodiil has become.
Right, you can basically.
And after that, they want you to.
You need to build up Cyrodiil, right? You need to bring it into a position where you can actually actively rule it.
Yeah, the Elder Council wants to be in power once you leave, but after a while, you might just decide that you should keep Cyrodiil under your command until your death, or maybe a bit after that.
Right. Okay.
So while at first you're expected to do what the Elder Council asks you, you can after a while decide to betray the Elder Council and once again start a war, a big war between you and the rest of Cyrodiil. And if you come out on top, you become a potentate until the day you die.
Right. Okay. So you can become the ruler, but since you're not a Dragonborn, you're not there to be the Dragonborn Emperor.
Yeah, exactly. You're not Dragonborn, so you're not really an emperor. You claim to be a new potentate, but your claim is only good as long as there is no Dragonborn who could challenge you.
Argonian baby, the troublemaker. My martial Thane Advinda approaches me, rage in her eyes and cat in her hand, held by the scruff of its neck. As she thrusts the cat in my face, I see that it's my dear Argonian baby. I found this little monster among my things. Well, listen, that's just the youth of an Argonian baby, okay? You can't change that. That is what it is. All right, so we got an interesting starting situation in Cyrodiil itself, because we're looking at a great war that, if the AI wins, will basically end in the splintering that we know of Cyrodiil and how it went in Elder Kings 1. But you could also be more ambitious and do something more about it. Right, that is quite interesting. Now, I know that this isn't something that is finished, and it's fine. Seriously, I want to say this, even if this is public, my apologies. But basically, would you be okay with me looking at the spellbook? Not using anything, just taking a quick look at it.
Yeah, I think that should be fine. We have shown the interface itself before, but of course it's still work in progress, and the spells themselves don't work. I think, at least most of them.
I see why I'm asking, by the way, is basically because I will never get sick of looking at this spellbook with knowing how spells in CK2 worked and how they had to work. The way that you opened this list that was basically longer than my my resume. Yeah, it's like one of those things. It's just endless pages of content. And in this one, it's sorted after the way, you know, hey, what does a spell belong to? Sure, it doesn't work right now. I know that currently what we have, and you can see it in the bottom left as well, it's really nice interface work. We got Magicka building up, etc., etc. Don't worry about it too much. Again, work in progress. But it's just so nice to actually look at something and say, boom, I can actually work with this. It's not going to be a chore. And again, not ribbing Elder Kings 1. More than that, I'm actually just saying CK2 didn't allow for this. And now we're here, and I'm very impressed. I love showing that stuff off, just because it looks so much better than anything possible in Elder Kings 1. Are vampires done? I believe you have plans to look around on some stuff, right? And on Fridays, so I'm gonna push that as well. Unless you're telling me, you know, to look at certain individuals, but let's just leave it on Friday. I think Friday, honestly, like, I'm gonna be watching that. I already looked at it, but I'm still gonna be watching it, because it's just like, damn, you need to inspect what's going on there. Right, okay. Let me see here. We got a ransom for some child. Yeah, get out of here. We are in a good position, just to sum it up. What I can do now, I could kick the Orc King out. We could actually do that. But, oh, okay, let's try. We have a 45% chance to. Wait, what? Why are you the High Thane of Markarth? Shouldn't you be the Lady of the Reach? Wait, who's this? Why am I seducing this woman? Did he get ousted? Oh, he got ousted. Yep. All right. I got. I failed. Oh, the Reach. We need to look at Markarth. You already posted this, but I would like to look at it.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. Markarth, of course, an ancient city that is basically built on a dwarven ruin. Look at the tower there. If you don't recognize this tower, then I don't know what's going on. I really love the and again, you said yourself, there are very few so far assets, but oh my god. It's like, oh yeah, let's look at Solitude, let's look at that, let's look at this, you know, it's just like, it's everywhere. I love it, and I cannot wait to see even more. Sota Seal did nothing wrong. Yeah, I actually agree. I like Sota Seal a lot, okay? I think he's the best of the three. I know there's some people that say Vivek is the best. We can all agree. I'm Alexia, not really, but I think Sota Seal, yeah, he's a great guy. Are there any more? Let me check this. Are there any more questions here? Snake people? So, yeah, right. That is actually an interesting topic, I think. The Akaviri, right? They have very, let's call it art descriptions. They are incredibly vague. No matter how we look at it, the Akaviri in general and how they're treated are fairly vague. People, you know, because there was the more, let's say, you know, poetic depiction of snow demons and of genuine snakes. How do you approach the Akaviri in general? Of course, Akavir is not in. You know, that is not currently on the docket. Maybe eventually, but not at the moment. How do you approach the Akaviri? Where do you come from on that? And, you know, depending on how they look.
So generally there's a lot of contradicting sources in lore, but most of them agree that they are at least humanoid, if not human. So we went with that basis, but we will also try to reconcile that with the Elder Kings 1 lore we had, where Akavir or Saeski were basically half human and half snake. They had like snake features, like some scales on their skin, or they had snake-like eyes and something like that. And if you go look at the Potentate, for now that's just the Asian ethnicity from base game. But yeah, we will expand on that one later on.
All right, yeah, that checks out. The Argonian baby brought me some money. I'm very thankful for that. Very useful Argonian baby indeed. Right. One last thing rather, and I'm sure that the innovations aren't yet fully done. There's already a lot here, just to put that out there. The Seed of Empires and the skull traditions, the Nordic steel covering, that stuff is already great. But what interests me the most, because this question came up earlier, and again, it can't be answered the way that it was answered in Elder Kings 1, because we were looking at a situation where basically, at the moment, baronies cannot be in the same position that they were in Elder Kings 1 and in CK2, but we are looking at changes to culture, and that is this tab, right? This is we are West Marchers, and as West Marchers, we have nativity regions. We are natives of West Ghosts, which is I love that, by the way. You can actually click on the region and just see it there. There it is, and the Wide River, which is, well, us, right? Nativity regions, what will they change? Rather than looking at how they exactly work, what will they change and how you play? What is the effect of these nativity regions?
So the point of nativity regions is to make sure that, for example, you won't have the Alikir Desert full of West Marchers.
Mm-hmm.
They tie a region, a culture to a region. So what this makes is that it is very, very difficult to culture convert a province if you do not have a culture which has the right innovation.
Mm-hmm.
For example, if you're a Nord who wants to culture convert in Hammerfell, it will be very, very long, because none of your cultures, even in the Nordic group, has any nativity innovations, which basically say, okay, these guys have lived here for hundreds of years. It's very easy for them to culture convert provinces.
Yeah, so
they
you
have,
would be relying on people that are living there actively, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
If you, as a West Marcher, takes, for example,
Sorry?
Okay, so excuse me. So if you, as a West Marcher, conquers Falkreath,
mm-hmm.
you will be able to easily convert it back to your own culture, because right now it's held by the orcs.
Yeah.
So for you, it will be very easy. If, however, a Breton decides to take a small trip to Falkreath and conquer it, it will be very difficult for them to convert Falkreath from an orcish culture to a Breton culture.
Because they do indeed not, they don't have any nativity there. And so that would either mean that they will give this land, right, to somebody that is of the right culture, or they will give it to an orc. So either they keep it what it is, or they change it back to where it might be in terms of nativity culture. Now there's much more to the system. I do want to clarify this as well, because there are, and you saw that earlier, there are nomadic cultures like the mountain orcs, which makes it so that you can easily get rid of that mountain orc culture somewhere, but at the same time they can also easily plant themselves somewhere else because they are nomadic. That's just how it is. And I really, really find this system to be interesting. And all the jokes aside, and again, nobody even gets these jokes about the royal code and how it impacts Elder Kings 2, but all of that aside, I am very excited actually to see how that impacts it, primarily because this idea that you had, where you as a team said, we want a system that makes it so that a player interacts with multiple cultures even 200 years into the game, right? Where you still have to deal with people that aren't just, whatever your culture is. I found that to be incredibly interesting, and I'm very excited actually to, what that could mean in the future going forward as well. So, hey, honestly, really innovative system right there. Don't worry about it, kids. I am, in the meantime, by the way, waging a holy war against the orcs here. I'm waiting for my lover, who is on the way. And may I just take a moment yet again to highlight the orcs here. Now we also have, and we're not going to look into that in depth, but I do want to point that out because I've already pointed it out in like very early videos. Down here. Oh, it's, okay, I need to hide our cameras. Goodbye, everybody. There we go. We have astronomy. you can see what constellation it currently is and what moon phases you have. In your plans, what are the moon phases about?
So they have two purposes at the moment. If you click on your own character, for example, you will see that he has a birth sign. And every character gets a birth sign at birth, which is also the case in most Elder Scrolls games. In Elder Scrolls Online, you can interact with standing stones, the same thing as in Skyrim. But we chose the classic approach that everyone gets a birth sign at birth. And the other thing with the moon phases is that we plan to have multiple Khajiit first stocks. And the way these sub races of the Khajiit work is that
sorry, what's the first stock? Could you explain like what's the difference there?
Yeah, so a first stock is basically a sub race of the Khajiit, but they are not proper sub races, but they are rather born according to the moon phase.
Right.
So if like the two moons are full, then there's a specific first stock born on this day.
Look at the move. I love it. There you go, new moon in full. I actually, so I think the lore behind it is, in Morrowind, you interacted with a different race, or a different sub-race of Khajiit, right, compared to Oblivion and so on and so forth. And in Elder Scrolls Online, actually, in the Elsewhere expansions, you are looking at, house cats that are literally intelligent Khajiit. You're looking at these gigantic, like, there's this guy that's like, what, like 2 meter 50? Like, just a giant walking around being like, yeah, I'm a cat, and I'm gonna beat the crap out of you. So they are all, or many of them, I assume. Let's just assume the house cats might not, the intelligent house cats might not be there, but like they're gonna be represented basically, right?
Okay,
yeah,
so every first stock will be represented in some way, but only a few of them will be playable.
Okay.
You talked about both the house cats, so the Alfic, and the very big cats, which are the Sencherat, which are very, very big. They are 4-legged compared to the other first stock, which are mostly 2-legged. So they have at least one mana term associated with them. For example, the Sencherats are heavy cavalry, while the Elfic are the war mages. So every first stock is tied to at least one kind of mana term. And a few of them, such as the Omes, the Katei, and some that I forgot, will be playable.
Alright, so there's a lot of variety coming there for the Khajiit, which is honestly incredibly exciting, because I do feel that outside of Elder Scrolls Online, of course, yeah, you have a really interesting... Oh god. Okay, let me just... Give me 1 second, I don't want to lose another battle, yeah? I think the best move is to go here and then get... Seriously, this is my fault. Why am I better army commander, higher quality, more men-at-arms? Well, that ain't good, huh?
They actually have some very, very good men-at-arms if you check
really?
the army. Yeah, they have Orc Marauders, I think they're called. They're basically heavy infantry.
Give me. I'm struggling to lock it in right now. I'm gonna just look at. Here we go. Orc Marauders. Oh yeah, there they are. Wow, 40-30, huh? Okay. That's not good. Thank you for telling me after I'm locked in. I will now die. Alright. Look at me dying. I'm actually very excited for the changes to Khajiit cultures. And of course also the attention that the Argonians have gotten, primarily because they do come, yeah, they're gonna defeat me here. They do come a bit short usually, mostly because none of the games are set in their provinces. None of the games ever have been set in the provinces, so this is some nice addition there. And I hate King Yajnak. Can I just say that? Can I lobby you to not play King Yajnak on Friday? Is that... Also, the Argonian baby made the castle red-free. Thank you, Argonian baby. My daughter died in battle. You just killed my daughter. How dare you? All right.
Yeah, just to answer the chat, Cyrodiil is mostly plains, apart from the southeast, if I remember correctly, which has a lot of jungles and mangroves.
I can do terrain here, right? Oh yeah, the terrain map looks finished, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I know that this area is also finished, but I don't want to show it mostly because I don't think it's been shown off prominently yet, has it? The Black Marsh, the
Blackwood?
Yeah, Blackwood.
I think only in like one shot, particular one. Yeah,
I'm gonna know that there gotta be secrets sometimes, and it's no secret though that I'm currently dying to some random orc. I mean, he's not random, but he does upset me greatly. Let's see. I would like to raise some knights. I'm gonna take a look at this. Is there anything else? So obviously we are going to see, and this is I don't think it should be a topic until we get closer to the mod's release and whatnot, you know, because balancing men-at-arms and whatnot, that's an operational topic. You need to do that in the moment to meet exactly what fits. But there are going to be more men-at-arms, of course. There are going to be different changes to that. The current work progress, and this is not me trying to push you into telling us when you release the mod on a legally binding level, but more where I'm coming from is, what is the mod currently looking like? Like, you know, when it comes to progress on the map and on the systems that you want to have in the game before the mod ever sees the light of day, right?
So last week, for our year 1 anniversary, basically, we released a small little infographic giving some details on where we stand in some things, like how the terrain at the moment is at like half of the de jure empires that we want to have at release have their terrain modeled, and then also like 6 de jure empires have the history set up. Not final, but almost final. But there's still a lot of things that need to be done, like the magic system that needs to be completed, so it actually works. There's also a lot of work in progress, a coat of arms. There is. We eventually also want a custom Morrowind feature for the Great Houses, which is also not in at the moment. So there's a lot of things that we want to do, but there's no clear vision of this needs to be in, so this is our release version. There's some you know, hard requirements, like of course the map should be in and the history should be set up, but apart from that.
All right, okay, so progress is going nicely. There is an infographic. I believe it has been posted in the Discord as well. You should check that out if you're interested in the details there. I also have, while you were explaining this, basically created a small world war against the orcs here. We got Evermore coming in all the way from over there. We got Eastern Skyrim, Whiterun, Bruma, Frostcrag. We now have 9,000 soldiers. If I can't beat them now, then I will never beat them. So let's just wait for our allies here. Let's see. I see some quotes from All in All. I obviously a bit more raunchy, but honestly really nice animation, and also the only source of Elder Scrolls lore outside of Elder Scrolls Online these days. But let's see here. The German translation needs to be done. I'm working on it. Malte, hurry up, or else.
Oh yeah.
I do want to highlight. How strong are they gonna be here? Let me check this rebellion. Yeah, I think I'll just defeat you. Basically, I would like to ask you yet again to make sure to post the link to Friday's stream in the chat, because I would like to encourage everybody in chat to go check it out. You're gonna see Morrowind, you're gonna see some great characters, and I can only recommend it because I've already seen them. So I'm like, damn. That's gonna be quite something, I think. Whether you know the franchise, whether you don't know the franchise, I think what you will be able to appreciate is without a doubt what that looks like, because it is on a it's just on a different level. You have been defeated. Where are my allies? Are you coming, my friends? I would like to win this war so that I can at least feel good about it. How do children inherit appearances from mixed species mating? Right, that was a topic, but honestly, even I forgot the answer. How is that handled?
So basically, our races are set up as ethnicities, just like base game uses them for like a Caucasian ethnicity and an African ethnicity, and so we have those as a basis. And apart from that, it's very dynamic. So an elf and a human can mix, and the result will look like something in between. Actually, there's some mixed characters in High Rock. If you look at the Duchy of Gavaudon,
okay.
their rulers are famous for having elven blood. So
he looks very elven, actually. Impressively so. His sibling looks more human, and then his son also very elven. I wish they would marry.
I think he's.
I'm interested in seeing that develop. Yeah.
I think his grandfather was the most human of them all, and he married the Rennie, and so their descendants became more and more elven.
He married into the best family. Oh, they're starving. They're dying. It's time. They're actually dying. Let's go. Thank you, CK3. I love my allies. Like, instead of crossing the rift or something, they're like, let's go through Ellen here. We're in. And they were in. I hate that he's starving, and yet if I were to battle him there, it would be a decisive loss. Right, you know what? Let's just go sieging.
I'm actually a little surprised at how strong he is, because I did a test game as Yajnak like a week ago, and I did have a very good time trying to fend off all the Nords that wanted to kill me. Like WHITERUN constantly attacked me, the Rift constantly attacked me. Both were mostly allied to Eastern or Western Skyrim, so like half of Skyrim was coming down on me every war. Starting him as him is actually not that easy, but he does a pretty good job at the moment.
I need to, I just saw that as well. I actually need to take something, otherwise I'm gonna get the ticking war score to knock me out. Oh my god, you already starving? My friends, oh no! He's gonna murder them. Please. Don't do this to me, you can't do this to me. Alright, there they go. Can I come and help? Nope, it's already over, you know what? Let's just, I don't... It's the worst war I've fought in ages in this game. Alright, let's go back to questions and act like you didn't see this, okay? Let's see. Can you try to find a half-elf? Right, I mean, we already technically looked at somebody here that definitely has elven features, but is not an elf, and yeah, I've just lost that war. That feels real bad. Yeah, no, his men-at-arms are no joke, so I just recommend to anybody that goes ahead and plays this eventually, check out the men-at-arms of your enemies. They may be more meaningful than you expected from vanilla, which is fair enough, of course. I love as well that Svartre has gotten the face paint. Honestly, I saw that earlier. I highlighted it. I love it so much. Look at this dude. He actually looks like the most serious man in all of Skyrim. He always looked like that because he always looks angry. But yeah, no, that's a really good look for him. Let's see.
He actually became a reaction meme on our Discord because he looks so grumpy all the time.
He looks incredibly angry. Independence War. I must have clicked that away. Okay, so we can win this. Sure, I'll come in. As we go towards the greatest playthrough ever done by me here, we're gonna defeat the Pale. And I would once again ask chat whether you want to see anything or whether you want to know about anything, so we can take a look at that. God. So the Pale is led by Jarl Bulfrek the Pale, of the Pale, House Ambershield. Yeah, he seems a bit cocky. He's fighting my not wife, but lover. And she's 58, I'm 58. We played how many years? 12 years? Damn, I was 46 when I started.
Yeah, at the moment the game is running rather fast because we still only have 2/3 of the provinces of the base game. So Tamriel itself is basically the size of Europe in base game. Right.
I mean, it's nice, right? People that love Elder Kings 2 but don't love the current GPU prices, the current CPU prices, any prices really, can have a good time. Until Akaviri is added, of course, like a month after release, right? You no, okay, I'm not even going to put you into that position.
Of course.
Let me ask now, because we got that. Can I show Khajiit babies?
I think you can, yeah.
Yeah, it should be fun.
Check out a Khajiit baby. They're all grown up here. Everybody's an adult.
So,
here we go.
Just for the viewers, do note that Khajiit are very work in progress at the moment because they are getting some first stocks added, and that is still very much in progress.
Everything, as always, work in progress. We see a bunch of different people that I don't know, how like acceptable it is to talk about, so let's not worry about it. But there's many different, as we talked about earlier, races, sub-races within the Khajiit here. But yeah, look at this Khajiit baby. Look at him go. And of course, as you go, I mean, if we look at an adult Khajiit, let's take this one. Look at this. Look at the. Honestly, I really like how the face shape turned out in these. I think they hit a really good sweet spot. Demon eyes. Well, I mean, they're no baby Argonians.
I think our portrait artist changed something with the eyes some days ago, like how they behave and how they can be controlled. So, for example, that every eye can have a unique eye color. So we could have heterochromia, for example, and I think that destroyed some ethnicities.
Where the Camerons? They should be they're right down here. He's sick. He's having a good time. Got 8 houses. Classic Camerons.
Yeah.
I don't remember the did they start out, because I'm pretty sure one of them changed their race with magic. Am I wrong here? I swear to God, one of them went either from Wood Elf to Altmare or the other way around. I can't remember, but like there was something.
That's Mankar Cameron.
That's
as a
way
Cameron, he should be a Gosmer, but in Oblivion he appears as an Altmare. So he probably has an Altmare parent somewhere in.
Right.
In his ancestry.
It's that's gonna be super interesting looking at this. Of course, we have a Valenwood. We're not gonna look at it closer, but we have Valenwood. If you've played and now this is culture. I wanted to look at religion. If you've played Elder Scrolls Online, you will know the Wilder King, of course, and all that stuff is gonna be in. All of that stuff will be something you can interact with. Let's see, Lord Harkon. I'm gonna say watch the Friday stream. Feel free to watch the Friday stream. There's gonna be a lot going on there. Khajiit look decent, but the Argonians look amazing. Then a lot of Mac Cameron memes. You know, he's honestly a very good character. Don't do what he did though. Sadly, Oblivion Realms can't really be on a CK3 map, but I would love to make my own. Listen, honestly, that would be amazing. Okay, let me check here whether we got anything else. There are Khajiit subraces indeed. It is one of the things that really interest me. I said it earlier, but I love to say this again, primarily because it is a topic that doesn't get that much attention in the main Elder Scrolls lore, outside of Elder Scrolls Online again. But the beast races are really going to take a different angle on this. Can I show a Kothringi?
Yeah, I think you already clicked on one.
That was by accident. It doesn't count. No. If I leak by accident, that doesn't count, okay? so if you don't know the Kothringi, right? The Kothringi, and I'm definitely gonna get that wrong because I played this. It's a quest in the Ebonheart Pact, which is vanilla content in Elder Scrolls Online, so super old. But I'm pretty sure that these folks died with the plague, right?
Yeah.
Right. And they're still here because we're gonna experience that. You're gonna experience that, I assume, at some point in Elder Kings 2. Sorry to tell them. They don't know that yet. Yeah. Chieftain Asank sits here, is like, look at my skin. I am metal. But then he's like, I'm sick. You know that. I mean, he's sick right now. Actually, it might be. You know, let's not worry about them. Okay, they'll surely survive.
Yeah, in about a century, the Heart and Flu should spawn and just destroy every non-Argonian race in Black Marsh.
Have you looked at goblins? I know I can show the goblins because I've used them as bait on my thumbnails for basically years at this point because they just look that good. And no, this is not a goblin. Where's the goblin at? Okay. I think I just handed Argonian baby over to a different character. Don't worry about it, okay? Here the goblin.
You also have some rankings in Solstheim, if you want.
Let's check this out. We got some cute little the goblins are so good in this. Look at these folks, and look at him in comparison. He's like, yes, of course. This is a matter of state, dear goblin friends. I love this so much. They look so good. Somebody asked about deactivating the towers, right? Unless you want to answer that right now, I'm just gonna say probably not a topic you're concerned with right now, right?
The towers are a special building, but it's not planned at the moment to do like in Elder Kings 1 and destroy the world in a direct invasion.
No, I'm gonna...
I also wanted to answer to Wilco. They asked if all the Kothringi and others will be killed. As we see in ESO, some might survive. Some non-Argonian race might survive even after the Inheritance Flu. if they do if they ask the right person.
Let's see. We got Goblin Tamriel runs. Oh wait. Okay, wait. Let me just mute myself on stream just for a second. I think it has been mentioned.
No.
Okay, yeah, okay. No,
Not yet.
Don't
They
say
may
what I
be.
just asked. They did not hear that. Okay, I want to make that clear. They did not hear that. Okay.
Okay.
they did not hear a thing. Only you did. So don't mention what I said, because that's gonna ruin my my track record of not leaking anything. Let's see. What about Eleanor? What kind of terrains, and are there any special buildings? So special buildings is a question for you. I can show the terrain, of course. You know, just hover over it a bit. What's going on in Eleanor? Are there any like plans that you want to talk about, or is that something for the future?
Very much in the future at the moment. It's actually one of the places that are getting the history work at the moment. So at the game start, it was like only Hidalith having like 30 holdings or so, and then some vassals over on Oridon. But at the moment, that's all also very work in progress.
Alright, of course. You sort of worked your way, right, from northwest and then southwards when it comes to map progress. So all the stuff that is up here has much more work behind it already, just because it was started at earlier. Let's see. Crystal Lake Law's special holding. I'm not gonna go there yet. Goblin will work like Khajiit and Argonians in terms of offspring. It's all based on the same framework, right? So every race technically can interact with one another.
So
Yes.
Khajiit, Argonians, and Goblinken can only interact with the same race. So you can't have a human Goblinken baby. Only Goblinken can have babies with other Goblinken.
Okay. I mean, it checks out. I just saw. Can I just highlight that the Skalv, they massacred this Reekling family, killed by Ege. Oh my god. I feel so bad for them. So these are
Actually, that guy is a dragon cult. I don't remember placing any or having any dragon cults on Solstheim at the start.
Oh, he is.
So I guess he converted to that.
Well, the Blood Skull. That's a fitting name. All right, for the dragon cult is here, folks. Easy. I will say. The dragons here. Just look at this stuff. I did see a lot of stuff as well that influences like what they use as their special building, right, for temples. That's pretty neat. That's really nice flavor there for sure. But I love every religion that says human sacrifice. I saw one earlier, and I think highlighting religions was fine, but basically the Malada or Malada, I don't know how you pronounce it, right? But the sort of where the aliens retreated after the disaster and whatnot, and then they were like, let's get even worse. Let's be worse about things.
Possibly go wrong.
Because it's gonna add a really interesting dynamic in the different provinces. Folks, listen. We are 1.5 hours in. I definitely won the war against Valkyries. If you don't think I did, then you just didn't watch the stream. Please reconsider your opinion. And also, I forgot to help my lover. Don't worry about it, okay? Please ping us right now with any questions that you might have, anything that you can bring up or that you want to bring up. Theyn, Singe, if you got anything that you want to get off your, just want to talk about, please feel free to do that now. And let me just, yet again, shill the stream on Friday by the Elder Kings team, by Theyn himself, where they show Morrowind. Maybe show even some people that I wasn't able to show off today. And I gotta tell you, Morrowind, you want to see that. Let's phrase it like that. So make sure, once the link is in the chat, make sure to click that link, follow the link, set a reminder for the stream, and watch it, because I gotta tell you, there's something to show there. What does that summon dragons do in the Dragons Cult doctrine? I'm gonna hand
Well,
that
it does
question
exactly what it says. You summon dragons as troops. You get some dragon in your army. You don't have dragons as characters, but you summon a dragon, and it acts as a very, very, very powerful mana town.
Of course, you have to ask them very nicely, because the dragons are actually your gods. So you're basically asking your gods to help you out with something.
Can you come by and beat a couple of people up, please? I'm looking for goblin babies, by the way. Oh, 6? Look at this tiny goblin. Look how tiny the goblin is. Oh, excellent. Let me. Actually, shouldn't. I didn't even need to pin him. There we go. Oh, it's not actually that small. Let's see. I'm missing so many. There's a bunch of questions. Let me go up a bit. So we got summon dragons, gobbo babies. Fair, close enough. I don't have any better ones. Okay, the Vaithfir has to be the substitute here. Please show us a half elf, I beg you. We looked at the only one that is like not an elf. I don't think we're deep enough in the game to actually already see that. But maybe if they're gracious, and maybe not because it's difficult. But maybe in tomorrow's stream they might, maybe you have something prepared or something. Tomorrow's on Friday's stream. I don't know where to find a half elf right now. Any special buildings in Blackmarsh? Probably, but Blackmarsh is currently still very much work in progress, so we're not gonna be looking at that at the moment. Going forward, of course, that will play a bigger role. Any ideas on a release date for all this awesome work? I'm gonna pester the two with that question at the end of the stream, just so that they can tell us no. But don't worry, we're gonna ask the question. What are those special terrains? Are there special terrains? I didn't.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which ones are there? Which ones did I not notice? Floodplains,
For example,
right?
the northern coast of Skyrim has something.
Right.
Tundra, I think. We also have
Glacial tundra,
some. Yeah, we also have for the Valenwood, the actual Valenwood terrain. We also added in Skyrim. You can see there's Tiger Hills. That's also something that's missing from base game. But since Skyrim is so hilly in many places, we figured to add them would be a good idea.
Oh, that is okay. I did not actually. I saw the floodplains and whatnot. I was like, that's normal, right? But no, there is a significant shift here in the areas for sure. Let's see. Can you show us Cult of Hersine? I mean, we can look at the religion, no doubt. Let me see. Shouldn't it be up here somewhere? No, that's goblins. There it is. I know my Morrowind Blood Moon lore. Hersine, he's right here, hangs out. He loves nature. Loves werewolves, not a surprise. There is a werewolf trait, not gonna hover over that. It might be finished, it might not be, but it's like, that's gonna be its own topic, I assume. And yeah, focuses on Hersine, and then you can take him as your patron and get powerful boons. Can we see one more religion that hasn't been highlighted? Oh my god, I can...
There's so many of them.
Yeah, I would have to show you all of the religions, but we're gonna be here all night. There's just no... let me see, which one okay, let me make a choice here, right? Which one I would find interesting. Dragon Cult we already did now. That is a really good one. I like all the word ones, so all the ones that are basically the witches that we meet in Elder Scrolls Online as well. I'm gonna just go to Ideal Masters. Just because the lore is so good. I haven't actually even clicked on them. So let's hover over this. But there's a trait here, and I'm like, what is that trait? I don't know. And I'm not sure that I can show it off. It's in the virtue section, but like... Ideal Masters, if you don't know them, in Skyrim, they were in the DLC, and they are really cool tidbits of lore. And seeing them implemented is nice. Can I hover over whatever that trait is?
Maybe.
Actually, then I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna hover over it and then like we cut all ties with one proud barbarian. No, we're not gonna do that. Let's check out the we had Lamaism, or it sounds really stupid if you frame it that way. We had the cult of where the hell is she? The cult that now summons dragons and will destroy the world.
At the very bottom. The science of Lamaeban.
You know what? Oh yeah, there we go. They're here. They like vampires. They're led by Blood Matron Lamaya herself. She's over 3,000 years old, having a good time, hanging out, sacrificing humans as per usual. Those custom items for the religions look amazing. I agree. I feel like there's so much great art in this mod. Shouldn't human sacrifice be min-mer beast sacrifice? Doesn't sound that nice, does it?
Yeah, it doesn't sound as sketchy as the human sacrifice. But yeah, I agree. But it's not very high priority at the moment.
If at all possible, could we see some new tenets in the Create a Custom Faith tab? Can I open that tab? I mean, we have a lot of freedom, right? Yeah, we have a lot of freedom looking at
everything about faith. Faith is good.
Let's just click on this. Oh, we have here Amber Plaza. What the hell is that? Is that old? No, that's the histories. Ooh, that's dope. Okay, what does it do? Oh, nothing yet. Okay, so that's just lore for the moment. Fair enough. Ritual Suicide, I don't recommend it. Contempt for the Weak, that sounds like, is that orcs? That sounds like
Yep.
orcs. Yeah, okay.
Exactly.
That sounds like orcs.
Yeah, it's not just orcs, but Malacath in general.
Mhm.
I think both the Malacath cult and the Code of Malacath have it.
Let's see, reincarnation, of course. Shunate. Is that a Argonian as well? I thought it sounded like Akaviri or something. Being pained by thoughts of the past and anxious of what will come in the future. Why did you code depression into religions? What's it called?
Because it's very important for Argonians.
It's like, wanna be depressed, bro?
That's just how it is.
Alright. There's a lot to go around there, and of course, what has to be said about the religious system as well, that, you know, the Daedric doctrines are now separated. You can actually close it, which is super nice. They're separated, so you can actually make it so that you can interact with the Daedra, and you can say, is it in your religion, is it criminal, shunned, allowed, or pantheon? But pantheon, I believe, since it would make it your main pantheon, you would actually have to go and do it in the tenets, right? The pantheon decision there.
Yeah, it's a bit bugged at the moment.
Oh yeah, I mean,
so don't mind it.
Yeah.
You should be able to select it, but it's.
You can basically position yourself
sometimes
towards the princes separately, right? That's no matter whether it works right now. That's the idea behind it. You got views on vampirism, on lycanthropy, on necromancy. You got it on witchcraft, and witchcraft in this game means a bit more than in vanilla CK3, so that should have an impact right there. There's a lot going around there. There's a lot going on there. And I would be lying if I told you that I probably, you know, I mean, I can't show you. Neither, and the people that are with me here in the call right now, please do not listen, but I'm probably going to play this like off camera and then say I didn't play it and you know, get away with it. But I think currently the way it is, of course, there is still a lot of work to be done. But the progress is absolutely impressive. Just really incredible. I would simply, oh, you know what? I actually wanted to try one thing the entire time. Oh, I can't traverse bodies of waters. Who do you think you are, huh? Taking my ride as a Nord to enter this river? Eventually. But I love that the river actually goes all the way down to Lake Elinalta, making it so that there's a lot more raiding activity possible as well, if you're a player, if you're adventurous. Anyway, what my point was is essentially that what you've seen here today is an incredible step towards this mod. I do want to ask, but I'm going to preface this. We all know what the answer is going to be. When is the mod going to release?
Good question. Nobody knows. When it's ready.
When it's ready.
Yeah, when it's ready.
As you can see, folks, a lot has been done. Ahaus Lalu's views on... Oh, I know this one.
Yeah, we'll do.
Okay, I had to think about it and I was like, I know that Oblivion character, you know? Like, what are the fines in Sirtuf? Yeah, alright. My... just to finish it off. It's difficult to predict mod progress, and it is very difficult to predict mod progress on a mod this big. This is true for Elder Kings 2, this is true for Game of Thrones, this is true for basically any massive total conversion, such as this one. As you can see, there's already a lot in the mod, and there's going to be a lot more. Now, you know, even right now what you see is absolutely incredible, but I gotta tell you, be patient and give the team the time that they need. If you can help them, then you should join their Discord. The link is in the description, and check out, you know, whether you can do anything that can aid them in the progress here. I hope that you got a bit of a better overview of how good a CK3 player I truly am in the stream, but also on what is going on in Elder Kings 2. I want to highlight yet again, before we call it for tonight, you know what, if you got a question, like one more question, the first question posted we can probably still answer, but beyond that, I want to highlight that there will be a stream on Friday. Is that 6 p.m. as well? Is that 8 p.m.? When does that happen?
The stream on Friday will happen on 8 p.m.
Okay, so 8 p.m. CEST, so that is the Central European Summertime. That is, I believe, UTC plus 3, I think, at this point. No, UTC plus 2 is summertime, right? That will happen with a link that will probably be posted in just a second in the chat. Make sure to go to that link, set a reminder, and watch the stream. You're going to be seeing Morrowind. You're going to be seeing various characters. And I, as somebody that has gone and already was able to take a look at it, I highly encourage you to check out the work that, you know, goes beyond what we already see here. Just look at this truly, and let me go into observer mode for this. Just look at this truly beautiful depiction of everything going on in Hammerfell, be it Hammerfell, be it High Rock, be it Skyrim. I mean, we've been in Skyrim this entire time. There's, of course, a big chunk, well, actually all of it, right, at this point, of Cyrodiil done. And if you think that these depictions are great, then I will tell you right now, and this is not me overhyping it, because I've seen it and know what it's like. If you think that this Kvatch, for example, or that anvil here, for example, looks exactly the way it looked in Oblivion, but maybe even better, then definitely check out the stream tomorrow, because Morrowind is worth it. 100% go check it out. Let's see. Somebody is waiting for Dragon Tears to be a mechanic. I've asked too many questions. I gotta hold off for now. Make sure to ask them on Friday on the stream that has been posted here. I want to say thank you to Singe, to Theyn, to the entire team behind Elder Kings 2, to the providers of the music that seriously just gives it every time. Like, you hear the classic, you know, melody that you know so well. It just induces more nostalgia that is going in there. Thank you to Bethesda for 10 years without an Elder Scrolls game. You know, I have to wonder whether if we had a new Elder Scrolls game, whether there would be so many people willing to work on Elder Kings. I think it has to be said, they would probably be busy, but, you know, currently, we got time on our hands, and we can look at amazing products because of that, like Elder Kings 2. Yeah, give them some time, relax, wait, keep up with the teasers, join the team, join the Discord, watch the stream on Friday, and eventually, we're gonna be looking at that, but public. And I can't wait. You too, again, thank you very much for being here. Thank you for working on the mod, and I hope you had a good time as well.
Thank you. It was very cool stream. Thanks a lot. And thank you to everyone who hanged out in the chat. It was nice.
Alright, and with that, we're gonna call it a night. Hope all of you had a good time, and see you on Friday on Thayn's channel in the link that leads you to the live stream. Until then, cheers.
Cheers.
Bye.